indah. Wow, indah sekali. Ini adalah rendering pertama dari apa yang kita lakukan. Saya ingin mengucapkan selamat Natal dan menyambut Anda di Mar-a-Lago untuk pengumuman menarik tentang Golden Fleet baru. Kami membangun Golden Fleet untuk Angkatan Laut Amerika Serikat. Seperti yang Anda tahu, kami sangat membutuhkan kapal. Kapal-kapal kita, beberapa di antaranya sudah tua, lelah, dan ketinggalan zaman. Kami akan berbalik arah sepenuhnya. Kami senang dihadiri oleh Sekretaris Perang Pete Hegseth yang melakukan pekerjaan fantastis dan Sekretaris Angkatan Laut John Phelan. Marco Rubio hadir dan memberikan beberapa kata penting di akhir pekan lalu. Dia berbicara beberapa jam tentang pekerjaan kita yang baik, yang memang benar sebagai Petin Tinggi. Saya bangga mengumumkan bahwa saya telah menyetujui rencana Angkatan Laut untuk memulai pembangunan 2 kapal perang baru yang sangat besar.
Battleship terbesar yang pernah kami buat.
Kamu tahu, dulu kamu membangun Iowa, Missouri,
Wisconsin,
Alabama, dan banyak lainnya. Kita punya kapal perang besar. Ini lebih besar lagi. Namun, mereka akan memiliki 100 kali lipat kekuatan. Dan belum ada yang seperti kapal-kapal ini. Desain ini telah dipikirkan sejak lama dan dimulai sejak masa jabatan pertama saya. Karena saya berkata, kenapa kita tidak lagi memainkan kapal perang seperti dulu? Dan ini adalah yang terbaik di dunia. Mereka akan menjadi yang tercepat, terbesar, dan jauh lebih kuat 100 kali lipat dari kapal perang manapun yang pernah dibuat. Jadi, jika Anda melihat Iowa,
Missouri, Wisconsin, Alabama,
dan lainnya, tapi ukurannya mirip-mirip, beberapa sedikit lebih besar dari yang lain. Tapi jika Anda ambil yang terbesar, ia 100 kali lebih kuat. Mereka sedikit lebih panjang, tapi kapal-kapal ini lebih besar dan mampu menampung lebih banyak. Mereka menggunakan kata lethality. Kapal perang terbesar adalah kapal perang, kapal terkuat dan paling berbahaya yang dibuat khusus untuk pertempuran laut. Amerika telah membangun banyak kapal perang baru selama bertahun-tahun. Mereka cenderung lebih kecil dan jauh lebih kecil dan tidak cocok dengan kondisi sekarang dan masa depan serta perdamaian melalui kekuatan. Tetapi termasuk kami membangun kapal induk. Kami akan meningkatkan itu dan beralih ke pesawat yang lebih superior. Kami memiliki kelas Ford, akan kami tingkatkan ke kelas kapal induk yang berbeda, dan kami tidak membangun kapal perang sejak ke-94. Kapal-kapal canggih ini akan menjadi kapal perang permukaan paling mematikan. Nantinya ini akan menjadi kapal perang besar yang pernah dibangun kecuali kapal selam kami. Kami memiliki kapal selam yang lebih mematikan dan banyak yang sedang dibangun. Masing-masing akan menjadi kapal perang terbesar dalam sejarah negara kita. Kapal perang terbesar dalam sejarah dunia yang pernah dibuat. Lagi-lagi, kapal ini 100 kali lebih kuat dari kelas Iowa sebelumnya. Namanya itulah kapal besar yang Anda lihat di acara Victory at Sea. Saya tidak tahu apakah ada yang pernah menonton Victory at Sea, tapi itu klasik. Mereka akan membantu mempertahankan supremasi militer Amerika. Bangkitkan industri pembuatan kapal Amerika dan takuti musuh-musuh Amerika di seluruh dunia. Kami ingin dihormati, kita akan mendapatkannya, kita sudah mendapatkannya. Sekarang kita lebih dihormati dari sebelumnya. Setahun setengah lalu mereka tertawa pada kita, sekarang mereka menghormati kita lagi pada tingkat yang belum pernah mereka hormati sebelumnya. Kami membayangkan 2 kapal ini membicarakan 10. Kita akan mulai dengan 2, lalu cepat berubah menjadi 10, dan akhirnya kami perkirakan akan ada antara 20 hingga 25 dari ini. Namun kami langsung memulai dengan 2 pertama dan akan segera terlibat dengan, saya pikir kita akan melakukan 8 lagi. Lalu kami akan segera memiliki total sekitar 20 sampai 25. Kami akan menentukan jumlahnya nanti. Kami membayangkan kapal-kapal ini sebagai kapal perang kelas baru pertama yang diproduksi dalam beberapa tahun ke depan. Dari Theodore Roosevelt, Great White Fleet, ingat itu? Great White Fleet, to the legendary USS Missouri, whose massive guns helped win World War II. America's battleships have always been unmistakable symbols of national power. We stopped making them for whatever reason, I don't know. And I want to congratulate John Thalen, who is your secretary of the Navy. He came to me the first day we met. He talked about battleships, and I said, "You're absolutely on the right track." He said, "Why are we doing other things? We have missiles, which are much more expensive." By the way, these battleships have tremendous numbers of missiles, but they also have guns. And in many ways, guns can do the trick just as well as missiles at a tiny fraction of the cost. Once completed, these new 30 to 40,000 ton plus vessels will be the flagships of the American naval fleet, and there has never been anything built like them. And I just want to be very clear that we're building them here. We're working with others, but we're building them here. We have great Navy yards. We'll be negotiating with some of the companies that are running those yards, taking over the yards. We used to build a ship a day during World War II. Now we don't do ships very much anymore. We do military ships, we do submarines. By the way, we're 15 to 20 years advanced in our submarines over anybody else. That was one of the things that I did in my first term. We make the best submarines by far in the world. We're at least 15 years advanced ahead of anybody else in submarine development. Most powerful, that's right, the most powerful weapon anywhere in the world, undetectable. So the battleships are going to be armed just in terms of guns and missiles at the highest level. They'll also have hypersonic weapons, many hypersonic weapons, state-of-the-art electric rail guns, and even the high-powered lasers that you've been starting to read about. We have lasers where you aim the laser at a target, it just wipes it out. We're going to have, there'll be the most sophisticated lasers in the world, and the most sophisticated laser in the world will be on the battleships that we're building. They'll also carry the nuclear arms, sea-launched cruise missiles currently under development, which will be instituted pretty quickly, but they're under development and they've proven to be extremely lethal. The U.S. Navy will lead the design of these ships along with me, because I'm a very aesthetic person, alongside our partners in American industry, and we're going to have Pete Hegseth and Marco and a lot of very talented people involved, but a lot of it's already been done. We've been doing this for months. The construction will create thousands of American jobs. We're going to have the jobs be created. I mean, already we have factories being built unrelated to this, although AI will be a big factor when it comes to these ships. They'll be very AI controlled. Today's announcement is yet another step in our mission to make the United States Navy stronger than ever before. Again, when you talk about 100 times the power of these massive ships that we had years ago, it's pretty amazing. And next week I'm going to meet with the defense prime contractors. I'm going to meet with them here, Florida. And we're going to be talking about production schedules because they're too slow. We have many countries, allies, that are wanting to buy. We make the greatest equipment in the world by far. Nobody's even close, but they don't produce them fast enough. So we're going to be meeting with them to talk about the production schedules. We're going to have strong production schedules. And the only way they're going to be able to do that is to build new plants. Even with the F-35, we have many people want the F-35 fighter jet, and it takes too long to deliver them to allies or to ourselves. It takes too long. The only way they're going to be able to deliver them is if they build new plants. They don't want to build new plants because that's expensive. So we're going to be discussing production schedules. We're going to be discussing CapEx spending. We'll be discussing the pay to executives where they're making $45 and $50 million a year and not being able to build quickly. They're going to make that kind of money. They have to build quickly. Again, we make the best equipment in the world, but they don't make them fast enough. And we're going to be also discussing dividends. We want the dividends to go into the creation of production facilities. So we'll be talking about all CapEx, dividends, and the pay. We're also going to be talking about buybacks. They spend so much money on buybacks. They want to buy back their stock. I don't want them to buy back their stock. I want them to put the money in plant and equipment so they can build these planes fast, rapidly, like immediately. I mean, I have sold more planes than any president by far, times probably 20. So every time I go someplace, I sell 100 planes. That includes commercial planes, Boeings, etc., but it also includes fighter jets. And I'm always having to say 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, helicopters, Apache helicopters, many years. India bought them. They want to get them. They don't want to wait a long time. So we don't want to have executives making $50 million a year, issuing big dividends to everybody, and also doing buybacks. And then they say, well, we don't have the money to build the plant. They got to build plants. Plants to make F-35s, plants to make helicopters, plants to make the F-47 new jet. And that's it. And that's what I'm going to be talking to them about. They're going to start spending money on building airplanes and ships and the things that we need, not in 10 years and 15 years. We need them now. And we're strong about it. Last week, the Navy announced a brand new class of frigate, and they're going to be working with the South Korean company. Hanwha, a good company, recently agreed to invest $5 billion in Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. We're opening up the Philadelphia Shipyard, once a great yard. Now it was a long time ago decommissioned, but now it's reopening. Working with the Navy and working with private companies. The record-setting defense bill I signed last week authorized $26 billion to build new ships, including destroyers and various others. We already have a lot of submarines, as you know, under construction. We're building a lot of submarines. I tell you, to be exact, we have right now 15 submarines under construction or ready to start. And we have, again, the greatest submarine in the world with our technology, like they talk about chips. Well, I would say submarines are a bigger deal than chips. We're at least 15 years ahead of any other competitor. China, Russia, nobody can come close. We're also building right now 3 large aircraft carriers in addition to the ones we have. And we have, actually, interestingly, we have a lot of submarines. How many submarines do we have now altogether, approximately? Huh?
Today.
What?
Over 30.
We have over 30. But these are the super duper subs, and there's nothing like them. So we're going to be doing from 12 to 15 brand new submarines. We have a couple of other things going on. We'll be building other elements of Navy. We'll be fixing up headquarters. We'll be fixing up places for our great sailors to live. And we're going to be working very hard with companies, but we're also going to be penalizing companies that aren't doing a good job. For instance, when they built the Ford, Gerald Ford, the cost overruns were ridiculous. That was done in Norfolk, Virginia.